everybody, it's Susan, and do you want to learn how to make the best potato soup? Well, come on along with me. Let me show you how. Hey everybody, and welcome back. Glad you could make it to another video. And today we're going to be having some fun, making one of our family's favorite recipes. So come on, let's get started. Hello family and friends, I'm Susan, and welcome to my home. This potato soup recipe has been in the family for years. I know someone at my work gave it to me years ago, and I've been making it ever since. Have you ever tasted some potato soup at a restaurant that was so amazing? You were like, man, wish I could make that at home. You can. I've got the recipe that makes those desires come to life. So let me get this ponytail up and let's get to cooking. And it's time to make some of my favorite cream cheese potato soup. Now you can tell this recipe has been well used, and actually someone else wrote it out for me, and it's been around for a while. It's like what you would get in a restaurant. It's so good. So we've got 2 cups of diced potatoes, which I've got them setting right here. It's more like 4 cups because I do a lot of potatoes, because you're going to put them in a blender or a hand immersion blender to get a lot of this mixed up at the end. You're going to need 1 cup of finely chopped carrots or celery. I don't do quite that much. I do probably half a cup, a blend of both, not too much and finely chopped, because I can't stand bits and pieces in there, and it won't be once it cooks down. 2 tablespoons of minced onion. Minced onion. I've just got some chopped onion. It'll cook down. It's all good, and you're going to immersion blend it anyway. 3 tablespoons of butter, which I've already got cut up and ready to roll. 1/4 teaspoon salt and pepper, which is back there. 1 8-ounce cream cheese. I'm going to cut it into pieces or pull it into pieces and put it in whenever it need be. 2 cups of milk and 3 cups of chicken broth, and of course I have used the chicken bouillon to make the chicken broth. And that is basically, 3 tablespoons of flour. I think I forgot that. That is basically everything you need to make the best potato soup. And some of the ingredients sound a little unusual, but trust me, it is really good. So let's get to cooking. Let me get the water off the potatoes. I've been having it set here so they don't turn brown. Let me get the water off of them and start cooking. And the first thing we're going to do is combine the potatoes with the chicken broth and the carrots and celery. Salt and pepper, which is about 1/4 teaspoon, which I'm just going to sprinkle some in because 1/4 teaspoon ain't a whole lot. You can add more thin if you need to. And then I'm going to put it on about a medium heat and let this cook until the potatoes are tender. And then we're going to saute the onions in some butter and then add that. So I'll go ahead and get that ready, and we'll come back whenever we're ready to saute onions. Okay, this has actually been simmering for a little bit. I'm going to go ahead and put the lid on. And then I'm going to saute the onions in some butter right there. It calls for 3 tablespoons of butter. I'm going to go ahead and put the 3 tablespoons in the pan. Get that heated up. And then get the onions in there and let them saute down a little bit. And then stir them into the mix, and we'll add the rest. Okay, and the onions have sauteed down quite a bit. And they are ready to be added to the soup. Ooh, hot. Okay. Now it's time to add the flour, which is 3 tablespoons of flour. But you didn't say what kind, so I just used self-rising because that was the closest I could get to me. I'm gonna put it in here. Let's see if I can get that to cook down a little bit. I'll let that cook for about 30 seconds to a minute until some of the flour dissipates, and then we'll add the milk and cream cheese. Okay, now a lot of the flour has cooked down in the soup. I'm going to go ahead and get the cream cheese and tear it off into little pieces into the bowl. That way it can start melting, and then once it starts to melt, we can add the milk. I know you can probably tell my voice is not sounding right. Well, Danny and I, over Thanksgiving holiday, had some type of upper respiratory something or another going on. It was really rough, and we're starting to feel better. But I thought this soup would be perfect, because whenever you have a sore throat, this is just nice and warm and good. And there we go. Now I'm going to let this melt, and then I'm going to add the milk. Okay, and I am going to put in the milk, stir it around, and let it cook on low heat for about 10 minutes. And then see if I need to put it through the immersion blender or if I want to just use a masher. I think I'll probably do the immersion blender. I like my potato soup pretty smooth. And it's cooked for about 10 minutes. And it's looking really good. We still have some bits and pieces in there. But I am going to go ahead and get the hand immersion blender and get it going. This is a nice deep dish. And I'm going to go ahead and do a little bit of blending. You put the immersion blender in the bottom. And you turn it on. And you run it around the bottom. And you might lift it just a little bit, but don't ever reach the surface. Because if you do, you will spray stuff everywhere. Just like that. Surprised I didn't hit myself. Because it does make a suction on the bottom whenever you're doing this. Okay. Now. And I actually didn't get myself. That is amazing. All right. Potato soup is ready to eat. And I love serving this soup in a French onion soup container. I got these years ago, and I love them. And I need to get another set because I think I only have 3 left. But it's really good to scoop your soup into. And it keeps the soup nice and hot until you get it out to whoever you're serving it to, which will be Danny. And I do have some larger chunks in mine because Danny likes the larger potatoes. And of course the well-blended soup is on the top. Look at that. Here's Danny's portion. He likes all of his soups with just some saltine crackers. And of course I'm going to put a little bit of cheese on top. And my favorite cheese, a little bit of Mexican. And there we go. Some of the best potato soup you will ever eat that isn't at a restaurant. And it's here in your house. So make it today. I hope that this soup recipe has inspired you to make some potato soup for yourself. It's so warm and filling and makes you feel all warm inside whenever you eat it. It is truly the best potato soup I've ever ate. If you haven't already, please subscribe. We would love it for you to become part of our channel's family. And until next week, have a great week. Please like, subscribe, follow me on Instagram or Pinterest, and ring that bell so you don't miss any of the upcoming videos.